Good evening and welcome to the 2026 Greater Boston Chamber Annual Meeting. And welcome Mayor Wu. I know that Governor Healy is on the way. She attended the wake of the fallen state trooper and she's making her way here. Thank you for believing in the work of the Chamber. Thank you for celebrating this special event with us tonight. Every year, our Chamber's Distinguished Bostonians inspire us, and this is no different. Our honorees joining the Academy of Distinguished Bostonians this evening are exemplary leaders. Congratulations from all of us at the Chamber to Paul, Kevin, and Catherine. Our Chamber community has been very fortunate to have had the incredible leadership of Corey Thomas, CEO of Rapid 7, as our board chair over the past 2 years. After those 2 years of leading our Chamber board, our Chamber community is stronger and more vibrant because of Corey's vision. From our focus on AI and the future of technology to being a leader in collaboration, Corey is always showing up for Chamber members and for me, as you heard sometimes at night, as we navigate public policy issues that affect our communities and commerce. So I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to Corey Thomas. Thank you, Corey. And I'm thrilled to welcome our chair-elect of the board, Mihal Chamberlain, Massachusetts President of Bank of America. For decades, Mihal and Bank of America have been corporate citizens committed to uplifting and transforming communities throughout Massachusetts. Mihal, I'm looking forward to continuing our work together in your new role. And tonight, of course, we have Mihal and Jerry Denteline as program co-chairs, and we're grateful for them for answering the call to lead this exciting event. I also want to thank our sponsors, especially presenting sponsors Alexion, Encore Boston Harbor, Fidelity, State Street, Suffolk, and Vertex, whose partnership ensures that we have a memorable celebration tonight. And to my entire dedicated team at the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, especially Danielle Dory, Vice President of Programs, and her talented staff, who play such, please. They not only play a key role in making an event like this happen tonight, but the work that they do all year round in service to our members and our community is something I'm grateful for. Tonight's gathering represents what makes our Chamber community so special. I look around this room and I see CEOs of large institutions and small businesses, our region's government officials, nonprofit leaders, industry leaders from hospitals, healthcare, higher education, technology, biotech, pharma, finance, construction, and real estate, all represented here tonight. I see the faces of 1,500 leaders who want all people and all businesses in our capital city of Boston and in our Commonwealth of Massachusetts to thrive. I see the talent and collaborative leaders from our business groups from across the state. Thank you for your partnership and for being here tonight. But we're here to celebrate you, the accomplished and committed business community of Greater Boston. But this year's celebration is about something more. In just a few months, we'll mark the 250th birthday of America, and I want to acknowledge all the efforts of Mass 250 and Boston 250 in celebration of the semi-quincentennial. And a special thank you to Chamber Executive Committee member and Eastern Bank CEO Bob Rivers, who led the effort for Mass 250 that will make our celebration of July 4th something special. Bob Rivers, thank you very much for all that work. We should commemorate the unique role that Boston and Massachusetts played in our nation's founding. But my hope as we celebrate America in so many ways this year is that each time that we do begins with an expression of gratitude to the families and the men and women who put the uniform of this great country on, made sacrifices, defended the freedoms we have enjoyed for the past 250 years. So we start tonight. Please join me in thanking our active service members and our veterans. Tonight, we focus our celebration on the centuries of entrepreneurs, the power of free enterprise, and the influence of the business community in motivating a revolution and driving the prosperity of this city, this Commonwealth, and our country. Tonight's theme is Revolutionary Past, Visionary Future. I'd like to begin by reflecting a bit on our revolutionary past, and then I'll talk about our visionary future. Many of you know I was raised in South Boston, not far from here on Dorchester Heights. As a young boy, I gazed up at the Evacuation Day Memorial every day, filled with curiosity about the history that transpired there. I learned that after taking command of the Continental Army on March 17, 1776, General George Washington and thousands of Bostonians forced the powerful Royal Navy to evacuate Boston Harbor. I grew up just a mile from where, in a world-changing act of protest, a group of Bostonians tossed British tea into the harbor and launched a revolution. And I had the good fortune of attending the oldest and, dare I say, best public school in America, Boston Latin School. Yep, go ahead. Where for 6 years I looked up at the frieze in the auditorium and saw the names of 5 Latin School alumni, Franklin, Adams, Hancock, Payne, and Hooper, who would go on to sign the Declaration of Independence. As I learned then, and as every person here knows, it is no exaggeration to say that the America we celebrate this summer was born right here in Boston. And as I remind my friends from Philly, Boston shed the blood, Philly filed the paperwork. The very first scene of the Revolutionary War, Paul Revere's midnight ride to Lexington, began just across the harbor from where we sit today. Before any shots were fired, Boston's dynamic energy made it fertile ground for the revolutionary thinking that inspired a continent. New ideas about freedom, about democracy, about equality before the law were cultivated right here in Massachusetts by men and women. Among them, there was John Adams, who first argued that Parliament had no authority to impose the Stamp Act without representation, and Abigail Adams, who fiercely advocated for women's rights and abolition. There were a great many other Boston area patriots who are remembered as our founders, the people with new ideas who argued against taxation without representation, who declared that government gets its authority not from a king, but from the people. Those patriots were people who were engaged in commerce. From the beginning, free enterprise was a crucial element in American success. The American colonists didn't share the same backgrounds. They didn't have the same religious beliefs, but they did share a marketplace. And that's what united them, a belief in free enterprise. For 250 years, our businesses have driven progress and created opportunities for the pursuit of happiness. Since the earliest days of this great nation, economic growth in a united, forward-thinking society has been built upon, indeed is required, a strong business community operating in a free market economy. In the first century of the American experiment, New England was a manufacturing power that drove national prosperity. During the Civil War era, our thinkers advocated for the equality of all, and Massachusetts cities provided the Union Army with soldiers and supplies. In America's second century, Boston and Massachusetts became a hotbed of innovation, exporting to the nation ideas and inventions that powered American greatness. And during tough times, when America's path forward seemed in question, the people of Boston and its business community worked together to address the challenges, charting a path toward progress. In the latter half of the 20th century, when America's cities faced decline and our economy shifted, Boston's business community stepped up. Our business leaders, working hand in hand with our mayors and civil servants, ushered in a new Boston, They led projects to revitalize our downtown. They rebuilt the modern Quincy Market, reinvigorated our high-quality public education system, and kicked off a building boom. A city in decline became a city with one of the highest construction rates in the country. Boston transformed into a modern, thriving, forward-thinking city at a time that it could have gone in a very different direction. Our previous leaders didn't get it all right. Too many people were left out or left behind. And going forward, we must act with real intention and forethought to create more shared prosperity and economic opportunity. Today, at the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, we lead with transparency and inclusion, bringing a wide range of voices to the table with the same goal: to use the power of free enterprise to spur growth and improve our communities. Just as Boston inspired America by starting a revolution, Boston continues to demonstrate how our biggest and best corporate citizens play a crucial role in improving life for everyone. This is a region where world-leading universities and medical centers produce cutting-edge research that saves millions of lives every year, while supporting nearly 900,000 jobs across the Commonwealth and driving more than $150 billion in economic impact. This is a city where the pioneering businesses of our economy, Fidelity, State Street, Gillette, are joined by innovative companies like Rapid7, New Balance, and Vertex to create a dynamic economy that benefits our workforce, consumers, and global reputation, with growth enjoyed by all. Today, the world is watching Massachusetts. In my work at the Chamber, I talk with business leaders from around the world. I hear from government leaders and CEOs looking to Boston and the Commonwealth, to our talented workforce and our forward-thinking companies, as pinnacles of innovation and beacons of a revolutionary mindset. Boston is at its best, and America is at its best, when our business community helps lead us forward. When investment and growth create the proud, vibrant communities in which we all love to live, work, and invest, where prosperity is shared, and where good jobs are steadily created. Today, we are at a moment in our country when divisions are deep and partisanship is high. Affordability is a national concern. Many people are struggling to afford a life here. We must build more housing to accommodate our workforce and keep our young people here. We must create a statewide transportation network that our success requires and our residents deserve. We must find a balance between reliability, sustainability, and costs in our energy future. We have a lot of work to do on these and other issues, but to support these efforts, we should be embracing growth and free markets as we have in the past when they are most needed. Instead, it can feel too often like the core ingredients for launching a revolution and centuries of prosperity, the powerful forces of business and commerce, are under attack. Make no mistake, capitalism is not perfect, and a free market economy requires guardrails. Unfortunately, there are wealth gaps and inequities that are a stain on our past and our present. But our free market system, even with its flaws, is far better than all the alternatives tried by people around the world. People are frustrated. Some are hurting. At the same time, we see opportunists who are taking advantage of unfulfilled communities and our challenges to attack business, further divide us, and promote a false hope that anti-free market, anti-growth policies will lead to a better future. And there are those at the other extreme, including some in our business community, who promote policies that harm our ability to encourage inclusive economic growth and a quality of life for all. Extremism in either direction will never be the answer. The American free enterprise story that started here in Boston is a story of growth and opportunity, a story of collective hope and optimism, not of division and fear. Here in Boston and Massachusetts, we know the formula. We've seen it work for 250 years. In partnership with our leaders in government and public policy, with our communities, we can use the influence of the business community, your influence, a free market economy, and a growth agenda to fuel progress for our people. At the Chamber, we bring people together, just like we're doing tonight, just as Hancock and Adams did. We get together in a room, we debate, we compromise, and we solve big problems. That is your Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce. I'm here to tell you, as every person in this room knows in their bones, that the business community of Greater Boston is as committed as we've ever been to working together for the success of our city and all of Massachusetts. We know that what happens in Boston changes the world. We know that the next era of success for this region and this country can be built today, right here in Massachusetts, through investments in new industries, development, infrastructure, innovation, and ideas. It started already with some of the companies that the mayor mentioned, investments of Lilly, Lego, Hasbro, Shark Ninja, GE, Vernova, Santa Fe, HarborVest, Foundation Medicine, Takeda, and Wayfair. Our continued growth will be the catalyst for new opportunities and the well-being of our residents and our communities. Here's the bottom line. Our history tells us that America and its people are successful when American business is successful. Massachusetts and Boston are successful when we are growing economically and when our business leaders are helping guide that growth forward. Boldness of enterprise is the foremost cause of its rapid progress, its strength, and its greatness. That's how Alexis de Tocqueville described the boldness of enterprise in the years after the founding of our country. That same boldness is still required of all of us today. With our revolutionary history to build on, affirming free markets and growth, we can shape our visionary future together. As we embrace collaboration and innovation, we're building something that will benefit not just us, but generations to come. I want to congratulate all of you on all that you've accomplished so far and all that we will accomplish together. Let's get to work.